This video is intended for students who have completed the Bondo demonstration with Mike Araldi. This video details the Bondo process, items and their locations needed for proper application of Bondo, Bondo application, and tips and tricks on curved surfaces, fillet construction, and damage repairs. Bondo is a two-part putty that is mixed and then distributed evenly over the surface of shaped foam by means of a plastic applicator. Bondo is used to provide a smooth surface for gel coat application for in-house inexpensive mold making. To properly apply Bondo, one must mix the putty with the hardener in proper amounts. Then one must put the Bondo on the part. Lastly, one should take the plastic card and smooth the Bondo into thin, even layers. Bondo can be applied in many layers at different times. When mixing the Bondo, the hardener needs to be added to the putty in somewhat precise amounts. If too little hardener is applied, the Bondo does not properly cure and will crumble off easily. If too much hardener is applied, the Bondo will cure too fast to properly apply to the mold, thus wasting the product. While there are no official mixing standards, this board, usually kept over by the downdraft sanding table, details the proper amount of hardener to use when mixing Bondo. Since the hardener contains methyl ethyl ketone peroxide, or MEKP, one should wear gloves when dealing with uncured hardener to prevent accumulated allergies to it. As is posted on signs all over the engineering rooms, with Bondo, less is more. This means that it is better to mix small batches at a time to ensure you are able to properly apply the Bondo before it cures, and that when applying the Bondo to your mold, you should use the least bit possible to reduce sanding and finishing after the Bondo cures.
In order to apply Bondo, you must acquire Bondo putty, Bondo initiator, a screwdriver, a paint can closer, a stir stick, more commonly known as tongue depressors, a Bondo board, more commonly known as cardboard scrap, a spoil sheet, more commonly known as a sheet of butcher paper, a plastic card, and a clean part to which you will apply Bondo. Bondo putty and Bondo initiator can be found in the flammables cabinet along the back wall of room 122, located here. Bondo boards can be found in a cardboard box labeled Bondo boards, placed on top of the previously stated flammables cabinet. A screwdriver can be found many places in the lab, but one place to grab one from is the tool wall located near the entrance of room 122, located here. Stir sticks and the paint can closer can be found on the table holding the sandpaper on the opposite side of the downdraft sanding tables, located in room 122, here. Spoil sheets can be found on the roll of butcher paper, located in room 112, here. If you do not already possess a card, ask a lab technician for one. To make sure your foam part is clear of debris, blast it with compressed air from the hose found by the door in the back of room 126, located here. The Bondo cheat sheet can also be found near the lid presser and the stir sticks on the table opposite the downdraft sanding table. For safety, wear protective glasses in the lab and wear gloves when working with uncured Bondo.
Put on gloves and acquire the necessary items detailed in the previous section. Use the screwdriver to pry off the lid off the Bondo putty tin. Pry gently from multiple sides to prevent warping of the lid. Take a clean stir stick and pull out a daub of Bondo putty and place it on the Bondo board. Remember to always use a clean stir stick to avoid introducing hardener into the putty stock. Put the lid back on the putty tin and press it down with the lid presser to prevent putty from drying out. Take a small portion of Bondo hardener and place it on the Bondo board. Use the stir stick to mix it into the putty. Remember, you can always add more initiator, but you cannot take it out. Thoroughly mix the putty and initiator until the initiator is fully dispersed. You will know when it is fully integrated when the hardener's color is evenly dispersed and the Bondo looks homogeneous. This mixture is ready for application. When the Bondo is thoroughly mixed, take a dollop and apply it to your foam part. Use your plastic card to drag the Bondo across the surface of the part. Drag slowly and smoothly to ensure a thin, even surface. The lumpier the Bondo application, the more sanding that you'll have to do to smooth it out after it dries. When the Bondo starts to bead and lump, like this, cease application.
Always use the clean side of the tongue depressor to get more Bondo to avoid activating it in the can.
If your part has curves, it is advisable to cut a groove in your plastic card with scissors to aid in application. Be sure to bend your card so it conforms to the surface of the part. Continue applying Bondo until the entire part is covered.
If you forgot to make a fillet with the fumed silica and polyester concoction, you may construct a fillet around your foam part using Bondo. Mix a decent amount of Bondo putty and initiator. You can either use a glove finger or a Bondo ball. Place a dollop of Bondo where the fillet should be and take your glove finger or a Bondo ball to pull the Bondo, thus creating an even surface in the crack. If you use your finger, make sure to pull the glove taut to ensure a smooth application. Like the glove finger, place the Bondo in the crack. Use the ball to push the Bondo to create a smooth surface. Use a plastic card to smooth the edges and pull away any excess Bondo. If damage occurs to your part, you can use Bondo to fix it. The first step when making repairs is to ensure a clean, workable surface by blowing off the damaged areas. Fill the damaged areas with Bondo. For large repairs, consider using scrap foam to first fill the hole, then use Bondo to repair the surface. This will reduce curing time and amount of Bondo needed for the repair. Enjoy your part. You are now ready for gel coating.
And may Bondo ever be your friend. To clean your workstation, return all items to their correct storage place. Take an acetone-soaked rag to clean the Bondo ball of all Bondo. Use a scraper to remove all excess Bondo from your plastic card, as your plastic card is reusable for your next project. Take all of your used gloves, tongue depressors, Bondo boards, and roll them all up in your spoil sheet. This can be thrown in the trash. In conclusion, with Bondo, less is more. Wear gloves. Mix small amounts of putty with the proper corresponding amount of hardener. Always close your Bondo putty tin when not in direct use to reduce drying. Apply Bondo to your mold in thin, even amounts by using a plastic card. Stop when the Bondo starts visibly curing.